Okay, so now we're at a phase where we're going to start. We have our leaven and we're going to build the dough. But I wanted to talk about the scale here for a second, especially Amelia. You're going to like this. When you have it on and you want to put a bowl on it, there's a zero function. So you can put this on here and it weighs, like 1,298 grams, but hit zero and it'll go to zero and then you can start measuring. And then each time you put an ingredient in, you can hit zero again. So you don't have to do a bunch of mental math while you're making bread. So with that said, we are going to look at the leaven that we built yesterday. Do you see all of the bubbles in here? And it smells sour, so it is perfect. Lots of bubbles. So how we build the dough is we start with the leaven. And then I'm going to zero that out because I want to measure in 45 grams of honey. Perfect. I'm going to zero the scale. And I'm going to add 520 grams of water. I like to use lukewarm water. And this you're going to want to make into what they call a slurry. So you're just going to break that leaven up. Mix it in the water really well until you have no more lumps. The book says use your hands. Yeah, right. I don't like getting the dough all over my hands all the time. So I have been doing everything with the spatula just fine. It takes a second. Especially because I'm using honey that's crystallized a little bit. So just make sure I get my little honey chunks out of there. Okay, that is perfect. Now, I have pre-milled all of the flour, but it's the same if you're going to be measuring flour that you got from the store. So I have in here 525 grams of bread flour, 140 grams of whole wheat flour, and 30 grams of medium rye flour. So you're just going to put that in. We're going to mix this up. And then it has to go through a process of what they call autolyze. So it just needs to rest, and it has something to do with the yeast doing something. So you're going to let this sit for 20 minutes before you add the salt. It's important to let that step happen. And it looks like that. And then I like to twist the bowl, and I'm pulling the dough up and into the middle, from the side into the middle, side into the middle. And you don't have to cover this for the 20 minutes. So what I do is I set this aside and I go ahead and I measure out 17 grams of salt. Put my little bowl on there, zero it out. Grab my salt. Okay, 17 grams. You won't have to do any more measuring at this point. So in 20 minutes, we will come back and we will mix that in, and I'll give you further instructions. Okay, It has been 20 minutes and I'm going to add the salt. This is the final step of building the dough. You just sprinkle it over the top and you just get this well incorporated. So I just am going down the side and pulling to the middle. This takes a few times, but don't worry, you're gonna do this. So now we're gonna, after we've mixed the salt in, this is called the bulk proofing time, and it takes 3 to 4 hours. And you're supposed to come back every 30 minutes and do this and work it. Now, if you're leaving for work or whatever, don't worry about it. The bread still seems to work out without doing this 6 times. Like, I don't think I even do it 6 times. That's the instructions though, so just so you know. If I know I'm going to be gone for a while, I just do this extra, because what we're doing is we're making the gluten more elastic by doing this process. So what I do now, the salt is definitely incorporated. Get it off as much dough as I can. And I have this bowl with this lid and it's got a rubber gasket. I love this thing. It's made by Flask, like the water bottle company. So I just leave that sitting on the counter, and then I'll come back every 30 minutes. I'll do it maybe 4 times, but you're supposed to do it every 30 minutes for 3 to 4 hours. And then it's going to double. Once it doubles, that's when we're going to take it out and put it into our couches for pre-shaping. So that's it. You are ready to bake after this doubles in size, and then you put it in your couches.